Hello, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or whichever placement brought you here. Welcome to this reading for the month of October. We are going to ask about the dominant themes and energies that are showing up for you at this time. And I do want to take a second to say that this is a quick and general reading. So, if you're interested in getting more information about the energy showing up for you, please feel free to check out your other placements. I should have all my videos for all signs posted by now. But yeah, you can check your moon sign if you want more insight into your deep within, your emotions, the things that you've been sensing. Your rising sign can give you some insight into how you're navigating the world and interacting with others. Your Venus sign can help you with some love messages over here, although I will be putting out some love messages soon. All right. But yeah, those are just some options over here. Okay, throwing out some ideas. Do you. All right, check what's calling to you. Just wanted to let you know. Okay, wow. Okay, these two wanted to show up together, so we're gonna take them together. Okay, and then one more over here, 8th house. Okay. Whew, all right. I'm gonna say, Aquarius, this feels like a strong energy, okay? Like with the quantum jump card showing up over here, okay? I actually want to take a step back and read it. Oh my God, wow, okay. Sorry, the reason oh my God, is because when I went for my book, it kind of almost went to it. Like it was just like, yeah, sorry. So it was very much meant for me because I was like, I'm like, I can't, like, I don't know, like my brain shut down when I saw it. I was like, I know that it's about big leaps, okay? It's about, major growth showing up for you, okay? I'm just gonna throw this out there, okay? For a lot of you, this major growth could be in your relationships, okay? With Venus showing up over here, like partnerships, dating, but it can also be like your creativity. For some of you, even like relationships with your children, if you have children, okay? But this very much like this need to kind of get in touch with your like creative side, the part of you that's not afraid to have some fun, like create space for joy in your life. Okay, so let's see. I'm like, okay, do I read? I read the parts that I highlighted. It says, we are every version of ourselves, but our consciousness dictates that version of ourselves that we choose to be. Okay, so this card, it talks, okay, Grasshopper's Medicine jumps into your cards today and asks you to quantum jump into the highest version of yourself. You do this by assuming the identity and emotion of the self that you want to be. It's in you to be the most fantastic version of you. All right, don't be afraid to jump into it. Okay, start loving yourself the way the version of you who is in love with themselves would treat themselves. Okay, and I'm getting like, love yourself as you are, where you are. Okay, that doesn't mean that we're not acknowledging our imperfections, right? It's like that, the wabi-sabi concept of, being perfect in our imperfections, right? Like that doesn't mean, what, okay, like what I'm saying is like, maybe there's a part of you that you don't like, right? And it's okay. You can still love yourself as you are and then address that part of you that you don't like, right? Like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, like whatever it is, right? Like you can start working toward that, but that's no reason to not love yourself, okay? Like I said, for some of you, like creativity, that joy, that don't be afraid to be happy, okay? Like, all right, that's what I'm seeing, okay? I'm gonna point out over here a couple of other things for this month. I do see potential travel with the 3 of Wands, okay? So some of y'all could be exploring new places, like physically, right? Like traveling, okay? Yeah, yeah. But if you feel like it's like you're gonna be traveling and then like coming back, or it could be even like exploring your community or something like that. Like maybe you just moved somewhere new and you're kind of getting to know the area, or maybe you go somewhere and it becomes home to you. Like maybe you visit somewhere where it feels like this is where I want to be. I kind of want to move here, like that sort of situation. Okay, just especially with this quantum jump, right? Like and kind of getting in touch with that authentic, like real version of yourself and what feels right for you. Okay. You do have, with Venus, I'm gonna say I do feel like your relationships, do seem to be like kind of asking for your attention right now, okay? You know, particularly with Vesta and the 8th house, you know, and even with Gemini and Vesta wanted to show up together, okay? So bringing that balance into your relationships, okay? Figuring out what does that look like, okay? The thing about Vesta over here, right, that it is a very devoted energy, okay? So how do I explain this? I feel like another reading got Vesta, but it was like in this card over here. So I don't know, check out your other placements, okay? But you know, Vesta does speak of, you know, sacrifice, you know, like Vesta's like, I believe, I don't know if it was like a goddess, was it a goddess, right? Like who kind of created this fire and then brought fire, you know, to others, right? Brings that inspiration, brings that joy, like kind of takes care of others, brings that warmth for others. And the thing is that if you don't take care of your own, right? Like if you become too sacrificial, if you become devoted at the expense of your own well-being, at the expense of your own health, at the expense of, you know, like yourself for the sake of others, right, then your fire is going to die down, right? So that's where Venus over here, you know, is wanting you to get in touch with the things that inspire you, find that fire within, so that then you have more to share, okay? With the 8th house, I'm gonna say sometimes this brings up power dynamics, okay? Like you do have, you know, metamorphosis, death, rebirth, okay? I do feel like a new version of yourself is kind of arising, all right? Like this might mean like, you know what, I just don't have time to do this anymore, and that kind of sucks that I have to let that go or whatever, right? But just how I'm seeing this here, it's I'm really paying attention to power dynamics, because this can speak of shared resources as well, you know, with partnerships, with people, with, you know, I mean it could be friends, it could be coworkers, family, you know. And the thing is, back to the concept of, you know, I don't know, for some of you, it might be releasing some aspect, releasing control over some aspect of your relationship. For others of you, it could be releasing the need to be in power, or even kind of assessing, like, does this person have, is this person holding too much power over me, okay? And I don't mean this just like romantically, just kind of wanted to like emphasize that, right? Like it could be like, does my boss have so much power over me that, you know, I'm sacrificing myself? Do my friends have so much power over me, you know, like that I'm giving up parts of myself over here? So how could you bring this to balance? Gemini wants you to understand that you can ultimately talk things out, process together, and bring balance to your situations, okay? You have the moon over here in your deep within, and with the moon being in your deep within, I can't help but see it as there are parts, feelings, emotions, okay, that you are ignoring. Okay, it's almost like you're keeping your feelings so hidden from the rest of the world that it almost turns into you hiding them from yourself. It turns into suppression or repression over here, okay? And what I want to say about that is that when we hide our feelings, even from ourselves, right, when we don't pay attention to that discomfort, when we don't pay attention to that sadness, or the I want to say, you know, some of the feelings that we can consider more negative over here, right? They find a way of showing up in our actions. They find a way of showing up in our interactions with others, right? So you're better off actually opening the door to your emotions, opening the door to your feelings, and figuring out, okay, what are these feelings telling me? Okay, that is what this is asking you to do at this time, okay? With the 8 of discs over here and the 4 of discs, okay, showing up in your, this is how you are relating to the world, how the universe is affecting you, okay? I do feel like you're being asked to slow down, okay? With the 4 of discs, okay? This is you know, 4 speak of stability, you know, it speaks of kind of maybe not a lot of movement, but you know, I'm really seeing it as this, like the universe wants you to kind of take a step back, because your energy might be misdirected at this moment, okay? So really think about where you're putting your energy, and is it fruitful? Because the 8 of discs says, hey, if you are diligent, if you put in the hard work into something, it is going to pay off greatly for you. But what I want to ask you is, are you putting your energy into something that feels good for you, right? So like, for example, this might be putting a lot of energy into work, right? and you're like, oh, but work isn't necessarily fulfilling me, right? Like, so it's like, okay, well, where can I cut back? Where can I maybe redirect some energy into finding a creative pursuit? Where can I redirect that energy into my partnerships? Where can I redirect that energy, or my relationships, right? Not like partnerships. I mean, you know, like interactions with, you know, like your family, your friends, your lovers, whatever, right? But anyway, right? So kind of this need to align, figure out, right? Like, what are you actually emphasizing at this moment? And is it what feels good to you? Because if something isn't feeling, like, you run the risk of like running yourself ragged, getting tired, feeling exhausted because you're spending so much energy on something that isn't giving back to you. Okay, so if I was gonna assign you a journaling question, that would be it. Okay. Where am I directing my energy, and is it what feels good? Okay. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, like I said, get creative. Some of y'all maybe like start planning a trip, even if you can't plan a trip. Okay. It could be like, how do I say this? Even if you can't go on a trip right now, okay, like it could be something that you're planning toward in the future. Okay, like that's what I meant to say over here. Okay. Because this is the energy, like things that you might not see coming over here. I feel like you might just even be like invited on a random trip, on a random adventure, random exploration. Okay, you know, so kind of keep an eye open for that. I'm gonna go ahead and pull some extra cards over here, see if you have any additional messages. But I want to take a second to say that if there have been any messages for you here at all, I would love to hear from you. Your likes, comments, subscribes, everything truly helps, lets me know. It lets me know that there were messages for you, lets me know yeah, like, yeah, lets me know what kind of videos you'd like to see more. Okay. All right, sorry, I got distracted by the messages already. Okay. You know, you do have setback, and setback wanted to show up reversed over here, which kind of what makes me think is that, like, you have more control of these setbacks than you are realizing. Okay, also it's kind of taking me back to this energy of, there are things that you might be considering setbacks because you kind of keep pushing against the grain rather than going with the flow, right? So it's like these setbacks wouldn't exist if you just kind of let things be, kind of like surrender control. There's something that you are being asked to kind of let go of, right? Like, maybe you do not need to control every aspect of your job that isn't in your job description, right? And let your bosses deal with it, right? Or, I mean, I don't know how that applies to you over here. Okay, but that, you know, that's something over here, because especially with the is it worth it? Okay, I go back to this, right? Like, is where you're spending your energy, is it worth it to you? Okay, do the things that feel worthy of your time, your attention. Okay, changes, okay, like changes need, like, you might be faced with some changes, all right? Like, changes could just be kind of coming your way. You're gonna have to like adapt over here, all right? Once again, like, you might see them as setbacks, but I do get the sense that this is intended to redirect you to something that feels more authentic to you. Okay, pay attention to synchronicities, pay attention to the universe, you know, connect to the universe, you know, like if you're going on a walk and you're kind of exploring, seeing things, you know, like, do you see any reoccurring numbers? Do you hear messages in songs? Okay, do you, I don't know, like, what are you kind of seeing around you? For some of you, as you get in touch with your art, creativity, like more adventurous side over here, you could be getting messages and synchronicities as well. So that is what I have for you this time, Aquarius. If there were any messages, please feel free to let me know. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me. Have a wonderful October, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.